Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Behind the Scenes of WordPress with Katie Williamson. Today I'm going to be showing you how to install a WordPress plugin on your website, and before you do that, a few things that you should look at just to make sure that it's a high quality plugin. So we're going to start here. This is my WordPress dashboard for one of my test sites. And so when you want to install a plugin, you're going to go down here to Plugins on your sidebar, and we're going to click Add New. So we'll take us to the Add New page, and when you get to this page, these are some of the popular plugins that people are using. So you can always, upload one of these if you need it. And if you're looking for something, you can go here and search for plugins. So let's say I'm looking for social media icons. So I can look for social media, and it's going to pull up a bunch of different social media related plugins. So here we are, and so when I arrive, when I'm looking for information about plugins, what I do is I like to look to see how many stars or what the rating is for the plugin. So for this plugin, I can see that it has 5 stars, so that's great. And over 1,400 people have given it 5 stars or reviewed the plugin. So it's not like one person reviewed the plugin. So that's definitely a good sign. And there's over 60,000 active installs. So once again, that's another good sign that this is a good plugin. And then I come over here and see that the plugin was last updated 3 days ago. So that means that the developer is working actively on the plugin, they're making updates to it, and making sure that it's compatible with the version of WordPress that I'm using. So this definitely looks like a good plugin that I might want to think about. Now, as I scroll down, I'm going to show you an example of a plugin that maybe I wouldn't recommend downloading. So for instance, this lazy or social media by Lazy Cat themes, I don't know if I would recommend downloading this theme because, as you can see, there are no reviews of the plugin and there's only 100 active installs. So there's not very many people using the plugin. No one's reviewed it to say it's an awesome plugin. And then I also see over here that it was last updated 4 months ago. Now sometimes that's not a huge deal, but I also see it's untested with my version of WordPress. So there might be some compatibility issues. You just never know. So based on this information, I would not choose to download this plugin. And so over here as well, this one, it's been updated a little more recently, but there's still no reviews. There's only 70 active installs. So that's something that I probably would choose to stay away from for now as well. It doesn't mean that the plugin is bad per se, but you don't want to you don't want to start using a plugin and then have to find a new one right away because it stops being supported or it's just not as good of a plugin as one that's used by a bunch of people. So let's say that this is the plugin that I decide to use. I click Install Now, and then it will install the plugin. Now once the plugin's installed, I have to still activate the plugin. So now it's installed, and then I can click Activate. And it's going to take me to the installed plugin page. So once we get to this page, you can see down here at the bottom, I've already activated it, and up here at the top it says I can go here to configure the plugin, so that way I can get everything ready to go. So these are all the plugins that I have installed on this WordPress site. Now, as you can see, I have Contact Form 7. It's currently inactive. So I definitely recommend that if you're not using a plugin, I definitely recommend deleting it. So because I'm not using this plugin, I'm going to hit delete and remove it from my website. So that way I know that my website can run faster because that space that Contact Form 7 was taking up is now gone. Now let's say that I'm trying to figure out if I want to use Enjoy plugin for Instagram, but I'm not quite ready to delete it yet. I can hit deactivate, and it will put it it will make the plugin inactive, and then I can decide, in a day or two if I want to delete it. And if I want to use it again, I just hit activate. So that's how you add a plugin, how you look to make sure it's a quality plugin. So the other thing I recommend doing is making sure that your plugins are always up to date. So you can find that out by going to Updates, and it will let you know. This, of course, all my plugins are up to date, but if there were any plugins that were up to date, it would look very similar to the way these themes that are not up to date look. So I'd select all and hit update the plugins. And so then it will update the plugins. So I definitely recommend making sure that you go into WordPress at least once a week and updating your plugins, if not more often. If you find yourself on WordPress, once a day, writing a blog post or doing some work on your site, then take 5 minutes when you first log in. It doesn't even take 5 minutes to update those plugins, and do that on a daily basis. It will keep your site more secure and ready to go. I hope you enjoyed this behind the scenes of WordPress. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you follow along.